Alright, so I just recorded for about 40 minutes, and I realized that the autofocus on my camera was off. So that's 40 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. And also, you guys have been watching 4 Thunder clips for the length of this video. Sorry about that, I will get good and try to fix this skill issue of mine. Sorry. As I continue to be tortured in this nightmarish hellscape I call my life, I sometimes try to find ways to distract myself from reality, like we all do. I do this in a lot of ways. I doom scroll YouTube shorts, I read Wikipedia articles, and I look at the news and something I can only assume is called my feed on my Android phone. You just kind of swipe to the left and it's right there. It has news stories. So I understand how algorithms work, kind of. I dropped out of computer science pretty early on. But I get that it reinforces what it has seen you look at. So when I've clicked on 1 or 2 articles about personal finance from Yahoo Finance, the algorithm now thinks I want to see every article be about finance. This reinforcement is frustrating, I would say. I don't care that much about personal finance. I don't care that much about Dave Ramsey. I don't care that much about anything to see 100% articles on it. A lot of the news sources I see are Yahoo Finance or Business Insider or the National Interest. I have a few problems with these sources. Maybe it's just journalism these days. Maybe they are trying to drive me crazy. I think that's more likely. One of my big pet peeves with Business Insider is their as told by essays. If you don't know what an as told by essay is, think back to when you were in middle school and you read To Kill a Mockingbird, and your teacher asked you to write a book report on it. So you read the book, you wrote a report on it, and you read it in front of the class, and you got a C. Now imagine you're no longer in middle school, but you're in fact 25, and you recently graduated with a liberal arts degree, and you need a job. So you become a journalist in a big city like San Francisco or New York, and your parents are paying your bills. Now, you don't have any journalistic integrity or grit or determination, so you do all of your research on TikTok. Now, there's nothing wrong with using TikTok or Reddit or Twitter to do some research occasionally, depending on what you're working on, maybe a human interest story, maybe, something you need first-hand accounts in. But every single article being based on a TikTok video is a bit excessive in my mind. These articles are written about anybody who posted a slightly controversial video. They're usually in their 20s, maybe in 30s, maybe a millennial. They have a do-nothing job like a social media coordinator, or they happen to be a CEO of a company they founded that has no employees besides the CEO. Also, it's likely that they are a niche celebrity, maybe not a celebrity at all, maybe tangentially famous. One of the articles I read for research for this video was about the wife of the brother of Travis Kelce, which, if you don't know, is the boyfriend of Taylor Swift. And if you don't know who Taylor Swift is, just go outside. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with this person, this wife of this famous football player's brother, or maybe the brother's also a famous football player. I don't follow sports at all. But I don't really care about her opinion on, I believe the article was on autism. I read the first 2 sentences and I don't care. That's one of my big theses on journalism these days is who's writing these articles, who are they written for, and who the hell cares? I think this is a major problem in news media today, is that we don't have anything to write about. We're not at war, so what is there to write about? Journalists are being paid to write these articles when they should be being paid to do real jobs like make cheeseburgers. My last complaint I have with Business Insider is that a lot of these articles just kind of seem like they're AI generated, or they've been run through ChatGPT to, quote, edit for length and clarity. These jobs of editing were once reserved for people who got paid to do this work, and now they've been taken over by machines. Thanks, Bill Clinton. As a true red-blooded patriot, I'm a big fan of reading about America's #1 business, war. It's a shame we're not out of war right now. I would really like that. One of the sources I read a lot is the National Interest. It does essentially entirely military-related articles, but it suffers heavily from, I would say, clickbait, rage bait even. I saw a headline while doing research for this video about the Iowa-class battleships. Is the United States Navy bringing back the Iowa class? No. Do I wish they were? Yes. My favorite articles from National Interest are the nightmare articles. Before I show you an example of these headlines, just imagine this. Imagine a nation name. Imagine a weapon name. Now say that nation, their weapon, is a nightmare. And that's what these articles are. Now, no doubt there is some truth to some of these articles. There are definitely nations that are having headaches with their weapons. But something you'll see is that every nation has an article written about every weapon they have with the same "This is a nightmare" title. Not only are these articles boring and formula driven, but they also sometimes contradict other articles posted on national interest. It's not uncommon to see a nightmare article on a weapon, then later see a "this weapon's doing great" article. Some of these articles are also, I would say, poorly researched. I saw one while I was doing research regarding a collision between a British and a French nuclear submarine. The article claimed that this nearly caused an underwater Chernobyl incident. I'm not going to bore you with the intricacies of why that wouldn't have happened, but it's just kind of dumb. They should maybe, fact check their articles. I did end up researching this author's Twitter afterwards, his X, and he seems like he's reasonably based, just doesn't have any knowledge of nuclear safety whatsoever. Skill issue. Also, as I was doing this research, I found that another author had published another article about the same incident the day before, but they had not included the information, the so-called claim about a potential Chernobyl incident, probably because he actually fact-checked his article. I'm not really sure why national interest allows these articles to just slide through and be published. I think my main issue here is that unverified, unchecked opinions are being pushed as news. New York Post has some great, high-quality articles. I think the phrase "sparked a viral discussion" means a journalist just saw a TikTok video with a lot of comments and just went to work. If you could call it work. Look, there's nothing wrong with some low-hanging fruit. We're all guilty of it. If there's an easy article to write, go write it. If every single one of your articles is based on Twitter or TikTok, you're doing something wrong. You're not a journalist. Anyway, this article is written about a 27-year-old woman who goes on a date with a 35-year-old guy. Then afterwards, the guy texts her, and she's upset with the way he sends this message, the language he uses, or something I don't understand. I think the biggest problem here is that these people are still dating at this old age. You're supposed to just marry the first person you meet in college and never look back. All jokes aside, there's nothing wrong with what this guy said. This girl just looked at it and said, I can get some social media clout off of this. There's no doubt in my mind that there are differences in the way different generations type. Old people like to use the 3 dots wherever they can. Young people don't use punctuation or capitalize. And millennials, like this 35-year-old guy, just says what's on his mind without using any extra words. And there's nothing wrong with that. The thing here, though, is that everybody can infer what he means here. If you've gone outside, if you've ever spoken to somebody, you develop an understanding of what people mean, even when they don't say it. This woman posting this text online to get validation, I guess, is disturbing. This says a lot about society, even. This woman knows what this text means, and this video is completely pointless. The other point here is, who cares? Who cares what this guy says? Who cares if you're going out on another date or not? Why is NY Post writing an article about this? At the end of the day, what are you learning here? What's the point of reading this? Nothing. You're not learning anything. You're not getting smarter. You're not learning the score. I'm not saying you need to go outside and touch grass or anything, but you do need to read better news. Some of the comments on this video were pretty insightful. I had completely missed the angle where this is a massive relationship red flag. I'm not very good at seeing red flags. That's probably never had any negative impacts on my life at all. This video indicates to me that in the event that her and her partner in the future have problems, she's just going to take the problems straight to the internet and post them instead of talking to her partner and resolving them. She just wants a drop of fame in the massive bucket of foul-smelling water that is TikTok. Thanks for watching. Please like or comment or share or subscribe. I'm hoping to work on some more schizophrenic content in the future. Unfortunately, there are mysterious, shadowy entities in my life that are preventing me from accomplishing any meaningful work. Watch out.